All right, everybody, welcome to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We're doing something new here. I think I'm going to do this every Friday. I'm going to bring a guest on. We're going to talk about their business. We're going to talk about, what they do, how they do it, where they've gone, why they're successful, just to get a different perspective. And, you might get tired of looking at my face, but we can look at Quinton's beautiful face for today, all right? All right. So some of you guys might know him. Some of you guys might not. My good friend, Quinton D'Souza. What is Quinton not? He's a former teacher, and he's always an educator. That's what he is. First and foremost, he's an educator, and a great one. I always refer people to him who want real estate education. He owns $25 million in real estate, about 100 residential doors, and a storage unit. You've been investing in some small businesses. I know you're in one with me that I got you involved in. You run the Durham REI, which regularly gets 200 people a month. You do a little bit of stock investing. I think I got you involved in that as well. What else? Tell us.
I'm a boring guy. I don't know. I've written
couple
books.
That's right. Yeah.
I got
Property management,
and then the filling vacancy one, and then this one too.
So what? You're going to send me the link for those, and I'm going to put it in the description below.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to order it, they can order them directly from you. You also coach people too. I know. I sent. Anybody who asks me about real estate coaching, I'll always send them your way because, to be honest with you,
it's not your thing.
It's not my thing. And you're so much better at it than I am, right?
I enjoy it, right? It's part of the teaching background, right? I want to help people along, and the way that I help them is to help to educate them. And I've got a good curriculum for them, which is very video and text based to help them. And then we do the, depending on what they want, group coaching or one-on-one coaching, depending on how fast they want to go. But I only take on a couple people, and I only do it on Wednesdays because that's because the rest of the time is focused on my business, right? And just growing that.
All right. So, I wanted Quinton on here for a couple of reasons. Number one, you're one of the best property managers I know. Obviously, you wrote the Property Management Toolbox. You wrote the Ultimate Wealth Strategy. And yet I know you're kind of transitioning in your business too.
Yeah.
Right. And we get a lot of people who ask us about, tell us about how you started your journey. You started out with single families, moved to duplex, doing the BRRRR strategy. So just tell us the story.
Yeah, sure. So, I got started investing in about 2005, but it really wasn't until 2008 where I was buying multiple properties. And at that time, we had CMHC 100% financed loans,
and you had a job, right? So you could get those on rentals, 100% financing on rentals. And you used to get 40-year amortizations. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I love that. Those are amazing, right?
Yes.
You don't know what you have until you know it's gone. But and so what I tried to do is I tried to replicate what I was getting, and I honestly thought I had invented something. I talked to a couple of mortgage brokers, some bankers. I'm like, how am I going to do this? And I figured if I could just increase the value of the property, then I could refinance my down payment out. And I was like, wow, this is really good, because I had done it on one. I was like, man, this really works. And then the way that I positioned it was the buy, fix, refinance, and rent strategy, right? BFRR. It's been renamed, but people have been doing it for decades, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not a new thing, right?
That's how I got started and I had never heard of it. I was just like, oh, you mean I could buy this completely done one for $250,000, or I can buy this crap hole one that I can put $10,000 in material in my own effort and have one worth $250,000. Yes, please. I'll take that.
Yeah, every time, right? And
Yeah.
that's the key. And that's, along the way, did a dozen flips, did a bunch of rent to owns, did some assignments, just a whole bunch of different things. And really, the portfolio grew over time. I could have left my job, I think, in 2012, 2013, but I kind of stuck it out until 2014, and then it just didn't make sense anymore. I was doing so well on the real estate front that it didn't make sense. And, focusing on that buy, fix, refinance, and rent strategy really helped to take my net worth and put it into the stratosphere. But also the way that I was doing it was on properties that cash flowed well on the refinance. So I was making money every month, and it was really a no-brainer to leave. And then I had focused on teaching people how to do the same thing, and that's really where Durham REI came about. I was like, first of all, I didn't have a peer group of, I had no relatives that were really doing it. I didn't have friends that were doing it other
What do you
than
mean? We were
me.
friends back then.
Yeah. But I mean, that's right. Like I didn't have anybody else, but I had new friends now that were doing it. Right. And so that was the key. And then trying to share what I learned with other people. That's kind of how Durham REI came about. And, I kept doing it, but still the wealth and the cash flow all comes from the rental properties. And it really started in those single families up to about fourplexes. Those were like cash money machines for me.
Yeah.
And then I started to switch over into the bigger properties.
So tell me about that. Why did you make the switch?
At first it was more of a test, right? Like I wanted to see what I can do if I could use the same strategy from the single family stuff into the multi-unit. So a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, I bought a 7-unit. And then I think 3 years ago, I bought a 6-unit. And and actually it was a lot of conversations with you too, because
I remember those.
yeah,
You always asked me, why would anybody buy an apartment building?
yeah, that's right. Because I was like, I'm making a ton of money on my 1s to 4s. Like, what's the why?
And hold on, I just have to point out, what are
Yeah.
you now doing?
Oh yeah, I'm doing apartment buildings for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
and are you not selling the smaller, some of the single family stuff?
The smaller single families, yes, definitely, but not the 2 to 4 units. I'm still
No.
holding on to those. They're still great, but what I can do is I can leverage up out of the single families and use those for other investments and kind of, pull my money out and do different things with it, like True Local and, other things.
Other businesses, investing, derivatives. I mean,
Yeah.
you did a what? Iron Condor? I don't even know what that means. Maybe you'll explain. Maybe we'll do another video on how, and you can explain that to me. Anyways, so you're 100 plus doors now. How many have you added in the last, say, 6 months, 6 to 12 months? You've added a bunch, haven't you? You have a bunch under contract. I mean, I remember talking to you weeks ago, and I was just like, oh, your deal flow was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So we purchased a 12 unit, 11 unit, a 9 unit, probably 3 duplex conversions. I've got a property closing at the end of May, the beginning of May, which will be a duplex conversion. And I'm working on 2 9 units right now. And I actually put an offer in again on a 9 unit 2 days ago. So
Well, don't tell anyone. I'm looking at 25 unit right now. I don't want anyone else to find it. I think it's a good deal. So
that's awesome. Well, when everybody else is scared, that's when it's time to get out there and get it
greedy,
done.
Greedy when others are fearful. I don't know this stock market, man. This is it's like defying gravity right now. It's tricky. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that right now. So, okay. I mean, you have tremendous deal flow. I didn't include this in the in my questions or my brief outline to you. I mean, it was very brief at 1:00 this morning that I sent that to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
three lines.
Well, I like to flow. I mean,
Yeah,
just
yeah, no
natural
problem.
conversation, right?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so I get asked all the time, Mark, where does your deal flow come from? So Quinton, what are you doing? You're working with realtors, you're private, where are your deals coming from?
Yes, and yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love realtors. Realtors are great, especially the ones that actually do stuff. There are a lot, like I would say 90% of realtors just sit on their,
Fluffy? Sure.
yeah, yeah.
Hey,
But
I'm sitting on my right now.
it's okay. You can do it now, but I know that you're out there working, right? And getting stuff done for yourself, getting deals done, right? And when
Myself
you,
and clients too,
yeah, like, so, I mean,
when and if.
but I mean that, and that's the key, right? I find that that's not the same. And always my determination is to get out and shake up deals. I don't wait for them to get on the MLS. Like all these multis are all private deals. Like they're never on the MLS, and that's because I go out looking for it. I'm always looking for it and talking to people, and I'm shaking out the deals. And that's why I have partners that want to work with me, because I'm doing things differently. I'm out there working, right?
So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But I
Yes,
think
sir.
I've said this on this channel before, and I'm only like, what, 6, 7, 8 videos in right now. And I said the key is to go out there and talk to people.
Yeah.
If you want deals, you just go talk to people. I mean, you can talk to realtors who've done the deals. You can talk to building owners. You can find them. Like, this isn't rocket science, right? Like, none of this is brain surgery. It's just talking to people and say, hey, have you ever considered selling your building? Or, hey, you're talking to a realtor. What do you know that's coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a relationship business. It's not a bricks and mortar business. I tend to use that quote a lot, but it's really like, how you build is create great relationships with people.
Well, I mean, and I would take that a step further. It's a relationship business, yet it's a momentum business,
Sure.
right? Once you're in momentum with those relationships, it just gets easier and easier. It's like a snowball going down the hill. It gets bigger and bigger as it goes down the hill, and it just collects more snow, right? For
Yeah.
anybody in the southern states, you won't get that yet. Think on it. Yeah, here's the thing, right? And that's just what happens because once you start buying buildings, I mean, there are people out there looking for people currently expanding at this time. So I get commercial agents calling me all the time saying, hey, talk to this guy, have this coming up. Are you interested? You have a good portfolio. I know you've been buying, you still buying. I'm like, yeah. And, and the other thing is they're like, well, you're obviously closing, so you're not a jerk. So
Yeah, that's the key. That's part of the relationship. Like, it's doing what you say you're going to do, right? If I tell you that I'm going to close, I'm going to close, right?
exact same.
And everybody sees you go through the process, and then you develop a relationship. And if you don't have that relationship, you need to develop it with somebody else who already has it, right? It could be a realtor, it could be a partner, it could be somebody else.
Yeah.
So that helps tremendously, because that keeps that momentum going and helps you to continue to succeed for sure.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, you've talked a bit about this as partners,
Yeah.
and I know. So again, people ask me how I get my joint venture partners, and I don't think that I am very emulatable. I don't think I can be followed in that regard very well. At least not now. Before, it was all through networking and finding people, small like one-off $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 investors, and putting them together to buy deals. And now I'm working with guys who have a little bit more, well, a lot more money, and it's one person, one deal type thing. So, and I know that so where do you find your partners? How do you structure the deal? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I find my partners from a lot of different places. Funny enough, I've never really found my partners through Durham REI.
I wouldn't imagine. Like, I never,
Yeah,
like, going through Rain and that, like, I mean, I have one partner through Rain, yet I always found that people wanted to be active doing it. So
that's
whenever
right.
somebody actually phoned me and I wanted to partner with me, I just turn them into a real estate client, and I would just help them buy real estate and run the real estate.
Yeah, I had a call with a joint venture partner just a couple of minutes, a potential partner, and he wanted to learn. And I was like, this is not what I do. But if you want, I have coaching. You can take part in that, right?
Well, there's coaching, and then if you want, there's other people who do that, will partner with you, teach you everything, and then you go off on your way and you partner with them on that one deal,
Yeah.
right?
And I mean, and I get that. I'm just looking for scale in relationships with people, right? Like typically now when we're doing a small apartment building, I'm looking for like 300 to 500,000 like raise. And I'm looking for a specific type of person that has that money, and it takes time to build those relationships. I find them in different places. Like I did the running room. Like did my half marathon training, and one of the people from the running room was like a partner on an apartment building that I did recently. Like,
So basically, you ran with him, and hey, what do you do? I buy apartment buildings and
yeah,
rent it, do this, blah blah blah. And oh, that sounds interesting. And I mean, if you're training for a half marathon, like I mean, you're going to spend considerable time with that person. I mean, especially if you're running at around the same pace, right?
yeah,
So I mean, you got lots of time. Plus, you grab a coffee afterwards, and
yeah,
that's exactly. I mean, so I mean, we're not that dissimilar. It's I find them in social situations. I find them like in activities that I do.
yeah,
And people, hey, what do you do? Well, no, well, that's what I do. What do you do? Well, that sounds really interesting. Want to grab a
yeah.
coffee? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny enough, when on one of our training runs, we ran past duplex that I was building in Whitby. So I had a new build going. I'm like, yeah, that's my ugly house that we're running by right now,
Yeah.
because it was like, there still wasn't any siding on it or anything like that. But
Yeah.
but that's the thing, right? It's having those conversations and getting out there. Like a lot of times, people they're so stuck in doing things that they've always done before, and they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. And really, like, unless your stomach is feeling kind of funny, you're not growing, right? You're not doing something that's a little different. You're not learning. And I encourage everybody to continue to do that. Like, watching videos is awesome. Like, it's great. So please, subscribe to the channel below.
Like and
Like and
subscribe.
subscribe. But
We got to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of April. And everybody like and comment on the videos. Thank you. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, after you do this, you got to go out and you got to apply. Like,
100%. You got to take action.
got to take action, right? Like, that really is the key, is to go out and take action. And sometimes that action takes you out of your comfort zone. And that's what we want to see.
Okay. So let's go back to joint ventures for a sec. So
Sure.
that's okay. It's great there. This is good knowledge. And I know that you're coaching somebody that I sent to you.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
walk me through the steps and he wants to joint venture with people, right?
Yeah.
He's never done it before, done it on the small scale, and he
Yeah.
wants to do more of it. So
Yeah.
walk me through the steps you take somebody through to help them find joint venture partners and to set up that deal.
All right. So I have I have a couple of courses that I've created. One, like video
Which
courses.
we're gonna link in the description below to Quinton's information, so you guys don't have to Google him or anything.
You can't. So it's in the coaching area. So there's
okay. Well, I mean, we'll put your information down below, and they
Yeah.
can get in touch with you.
But that's what they start off with. So they get their background with that. And then we go through like the different types of agreements and structures, right? So that's what they need to have a good understanding of how do they want to structure? Because there are lots of different ways to do it, right? You can structure it as like a co-venture agreement, a typical like kind of joint venture. You can structure it where you're on title. You can structure it where your partner's on title. You can structure it where you're both on title. You can structure it in a corporation. There's LP, GP type of situations. There's lots of different ways to do it. So
Hundreds of different ways. I shouldn't say skin a cat on here, should I? Like,
no, I don't know. It's
hey
not
guys,
politically correct anymore.
Comment below where that would come from. I don't know. I mean, I say it, yet I don't know where that comes from. And that came up in conversation the other day. So, okay, and that's what I tell people. They're like, well, what do you do? Well, this is what I do. And I go, that might not work for you. I have 15 years experience, 16 years experience doing this. And if your first joint venture is where you own 10 or 20% of the property, you have none of your own money, you're not on title, but yet you're doing all the work. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. It's okay. And, and it's explaining to them the different things. And then it's like working with this particular person. Okay, so how do you get your name out there so that you can have those conversations with people? And then it's working through a process. So this is what you do first. This is what you do second. This is what you do third. This is what you do fourth, right? So have them create a process and work with them to go through the process. So, starting from lead generation to letter of intent, to reviewing the joint venture agreement, to going through the property and going through the process, to securing the joint venture partner property and getting the process going. And that's just the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's what I would go through with that particular person.
And if you're doing this on like the buy, renovate, refinance, even on like the smaller, the bigger stuff, what happens when you give back their initial investment to them?
Oh, they are ready to give it back to you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
That's the key.
well, I don't want to say it. Like it's kind of like it's a Ponzi scheme. You're giving them all their money back, but there's actually assets behind it, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, they're so excited by this because, I mean, let's be honest, how many people are really doing this out there, right? Like it's not
a lot of talkers, not as many people who are actually doing, right? So
yeah.
And you know what? I get a good example. I got a 7-unit where I bought it for $610 4 years ago with a partner, and it was a bit of conversation. Okay, this is how you're gonna, this is what you're gonna do. But now that same property 4 years later, we've put about 65 in for renos, and just landlord tenant board costs, that sort of thing. We just got it appraised for 1.14 million. Right?
Nice.
Within 4 years.
Can I ask, are you putting a CMHC mortgage on? Because they're like 1.7% right now.
Yeah. See, the problem with the CMHC on this one is that it just goes below the CMHC standard. Yeah. So it wouldn't quite work. But you know what? We're going to put a conventional mortgage on there.
It's still cheap, still free money.
Yeah, and then we'll refinance it in a couple years. We'll probably get to that point, and then we'll be able to CMHC on it. But we're going to be doing CMHC financing on the 12 and the 11 unit.
I don't have any CMHC financing right now. I was just talking to somebody about, and I'm like, yeah, that's free. Like you can't ignore that right now. Like it's So I mean, we're probably going to flip a couple into that just. And for those of you guys don't know, Earn in Canada, CMHC, Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation, they insure the mortgages on residential properties and commercial. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the U.S. has some comparable programs.
They do. I don't know about on like commercial stuff, but yeah, like that'd be Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Is that?
You know what? Like the stuff
Genworth Financial. I don't know.
Yeah, my U.S. stuff. Like I mean, it's different, right? So it's a different strategy.
So you've recently gone down to Tampa.
Yeah.
And you own how many properties down there now?
Four buildings down there. Yeah.
4 buildings.
Yeah. Four properties.
4 properties. Yeah. Well, so talk to me about that process. Like, because you had to buy cash first, right?
Yeah.
So how many did you buy cash? Then when could you get finance? Oh, you bought all cash. Can you get financing on them now, or?
I got stuck, right? So what happened was I had everything approved on a portfolio loan across all 4 of them, and I was accessing it, and I had just done the last piece of getting the everything approved at the end of February, beginning of March this year. And then COVID happened. They shut down the program. They didn't even give me a day notice. So
wow.
Now I'm starting from scratch again. I'll go back and I'll be looking for a portfolio loan. What I want to do is a portfolio loan across the all 4 properties, and then I'll take those funds and we'll keep investing down there, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm looking down there too, and that's why again I'm going I'm thinking commercial all the way down there. Yet, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows what this COVID thing does? I'm kind of just waiting for that to shake out right now, because again, a lot of stuff is not moving yet. I mean, we would buy cash down there if, like, so. I mean, we're probably a good buyer yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like up here, it's about relationships, and there's lots of good people down there. You got to watch out. Like, so if you're going down to Florida, there's great people, but I mean, it's sunny and there are a lot of shady people, man. So you got to be careful. So, but like,
Sounds like you have a story. Tell us a story,
no,
Quinton.
no, no. There's always somebody trying to get you a mortgage that's like wants money and isn't going to get you anything, right? There's always
Yeah.
people like
What
that
happens
want
here too, right?
yeah, but I honestly, it's like 10x down there.
Yeah.
So finding good people is the key, right?
Yeah.
And usually, if you can ask other investors who are down there, like what they've done and kind of leverage their experience, then that helps quite a bit too. I know that, and for me, the U.S. is more of a hedging against the Canadian economy and getting paid in U.S. dollars down in the U.S. It's, cash on cash is almost like, it is like about 10% cash on cash. So it's a different type of investment, but you have to figure out what's right for you and why you're doing it. And it's the same with anything. Like here, like why do you invest in apartment buildings? Well, you're not going to invest in apartment buildings if you think you're going to be doing just pure cash flow. This is not in the GTA, right? That's not the idea. Right. Yeah. It's great for a net worth accelerator, and it can get you, if you're looking from a net worth play from here to here, a lot quicker than most other types of investments, probably other than the only thing that would probably be more is like buying a business and
or starting a business. Yeah.
Starting a business. But, I would say for like most Canadians, it's the best way to get a net worth accelerated. But if you're looking from a cash flow position, not really. But it doesn't mean that if you're buying well, it doesn't mean that you have to feed it every month. It just means that, you can, by feeding it, I mean, like putting more money into it every month. It can sustain itself. You keep the funds in there. And then just like this 6 unit with my partner there, we get a big, cash back refinance, continue to own the property, and then we can do it again. And, he's going to make pull all his money out and an additional $100,000, right? And that's the benefit of the multifamily space. Whereas like if you're in the 2 to 4 unit space, I think that you have the ability you can still do well, right? It's just a longer, like if you're looking for a retirement thing, buy one duplex or 2 duplexes, or 1 to 3 properties,
4 or 5 even. Yeah,
and then hold it for 20 years.
Yep.
Right. And you do fine.
Use the cash flow, pay down the one mortgage, do that strategy. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do a video and go through the numbers on what something like that looks like. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great. So like for the average person, I think that's a good strategy too. But if you're looking for net worth acceleration, getting into buildings are definitely a different, they require a lot more. But if you go in with an experienced partner, it makes it easier, right? Like to be able to do it. And that's what I would, especially for your first one, I would probably suggest doing something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let's change tactics here. So property management.
Yes.
Talk to me about your top 3 tips for property management.
Oh, top 3 tips. Like the one thing is to make sure to focus on who's going to help you, not how you're going to do it. I think that too many people, especially new investors, focus on like how I'm going to do it, and they never really have the ability to do anything of scale. Because
so it comes down to the who.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
The what.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's a big tip when it comes to property management. Like,
I think it's a big tip to life. It's the who, right? Like, I mean, why did we invest in True Local? Why did I invest in restaurants? Like, it's always been the who.
Yeah,
Never been the idea. It's always been the who.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That's why we're friends, because of the who, right? And it's just
Sometimes.
like, but I mean, it's about like being able to create relationships with people, and those relationships will help you to get something done, whatever that is, right?
Yep.
For like a spouse, it's love. For
Hopefully.
a business partner, it's something else, right? So you just got to
Yeah.
figure that out. For your property management, like it would be like, maybe it's somebody who's going to do your repairs for you. Like saving, like another tip is like, you're not saving $15 an hour by painting a house for yourself. You're costing yourself the opportunity of buying another house.
That's right.
So
Well, that's what I found when I was younger, that when I was managing it, when I was doing all the renovations, yeah, I was making more money, yet I was losing opportunities, right?
yeah, yeah, and
And
that's
and
that.
you make way more money getting your next opportunity.
That's right. Don't do the $15. Look, sometimes you have to step in and get things done. We
Yeah.
get it. Everybody gets it. But if you're planning to do it, that's a problem, right? Like if you're planning to get something, like to do that the minimum wage job, then that's going to be a problem. So
Yeah.
you're not able, like, that's not something you should do. And the third thing is to like focus on process and procedure, so that you can create something, so that you can actually give that off to somebody else.
Yeah.
So
And you describe that in the property management toolbox, don't you?
yeah, I
Which
actually
we're going to
include.
link down below.
Yeah, you just, that's the thing, right? Giving like templates, using templates, and working through that, right? And then that way, when you've created something that's repeatable, then it's easy to give that to somebody else, the who that you've already had from before, to help you to get that done, right?
Yeah.
You created the relationship, and you know who it is that's going to help you. You've created the processes and procedures, and that becomes part of your property management, and then
Well,
it becomes easier for you to scale.
so here's the thing. If you find the right who, they can put the systems and models into place after you give them Quinton's book.
Absolutely.
And you
Yeah.
get coaching through Quinton. Like that's all I would do is I would hire somebody, give them Quinton's book. And if they get it, great. Move next step. Okay, Quinton's going to coach you on building this property management business.
Yeah, like, what the thing is, to like, and you have to decide what it is that you like about the business, right? Like, for some people, they really enjoy the challenge of the property management side of things. They like the game,
Have you met Casey Wong?
No, I haven't, but
Oh, he loves that stuff. I'm just
yeah,
like, Casey, you're nuts. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not my thing too, right? So, but you've got to figure it out. I'm not into the drama, but I understand it. I can create like structures and systems that help, and
Yeah.
then now we have in-house property management that will take care of that, right? You want to make sure that you're not like the front line person who's handling all of that, because you're always going to be stuck there.
Yeah.
So, and if you really are, you trying to create a business and you're trying to create some scale, but it's not, like, if you're going to have 1, 2, or 3 properties, fine. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you
But if
still
you're,
need to create a business out of it. Yet a small business in that regard is different. You can be jack of all trades. Yet when you're scaling to 100, 200, 300, 400 units, I mean, you're going to have staff, you're going to have employees, it's just inevitable that you're going to have people that you need to work with.
yeah, absolutely. But then you turn into, like, you become a self-employed person, where you are the one who's doing all the work, right?
Mm.
And you got to decide if that's really what you want to do, create another job for yourself,
Is
right?
that your highest and best use?
Yeah, and definitely, like, whenever you look at a property, you look at your highest and best use. When you look at your tasks, you should look at what's the highest and best use,
Well,
right?
I mean, there are people out there making 100, 200 grand a year who want to invest in real estate, and they're going to go buy a duplex and whatever, and they don't want to spend the $20,000 on the general contractor that's going to cost them, and they're going to GC it themselves. I'm like, okay, sure, go nuts. Yet, like, why? Like, you
Why
go
would you do that?
just go do your job. They'll do theirs. And in the meantime, the $20,000 it's going to save you or make you, you can go do another deal.
Yeah, you can do.
Or you can go spend time with your family, or run a half marathon, or I think we should. I think we should do a 50 miler this year. What do you think?
Oh no, I don't know. I'm gonna
Come on,
if I can,
trail
if
run,
I can,
trail run. Let's do it.
I did a marathon, man.
So Q, if we get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of April, you and me do a 50 miler. How about that, guys? So you got to subscribe. So Q and I do a 50 miler.
What?
And we'll put that on YouTube. Man, all right.
You're agreeing to this. I'm not agreeing to
listen,
that. I'll do a marathon.
Listen, it's April. No. Stop that. You were already going to do that. April 16th. We have 14 days left in April. I'm at 180 something subscribers. So this, like, it would have to blow up for that to happen. So guys, help me blow it up so Q and I do a 50 miler. Come on, agree. Q. Say all yes. Right. Just say yes. We'll figure it out later.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay. Last question before we go off. How you doing on the market today?
I think I'm up like $1,000 today. I was up 5 yesterday. So
okay.
You know what?
How's your iron condor playing out? That's what I really want to know.
It's flying.
Are you making money on it? I don't even know.
Yeah. I'm making money on it. You know what? Okay. I think honestly, I think people need to, I've been trading for like with you actually for like
2 years or so, 3
years now.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a while. So like, it's not something that I recommend people start off with for sure.
Oh, here's the thing. I've been trading for 6-7 years. I don't even know what an iron condor is. I see you guys talk about this and I wantonly ignore it. I just purposefully ignore it because it's not my strategy. I don't need to know about it. I don't want to. Like maybe it's willful ignorance. I don't know. Call it what you will.
Focus.
I'm happy.
Yeah. It's focus, man. And I think it's one of your strengths for sure. Right. One of my strengths is persistence. Right.
Yep.
Like I don't accept no. I've never accepted no. You know, I'm persistent.
Yeah. Patience.
Yeah. You've got some patience. I don't know if I have patience. I have persistence. That's for
there you go. Okay.
But like I love learning and I love trying new things. And you know, if I can make 6K in 2 days, I'm going to do it. Right. Because, you know, but I also it took me 3 years to get to that point. It's not like I did it in 24 hours. I don't want to say get rich quick stuff because
none of this is right. And I'm going to do a video coming up next week on becoming wealthy and that mindset. So, I mean, guys, like and subscribe as always, and right down there. Isn't that what they do? I don't even know. Still new to this. Anyway, so guy, I've taken up enough of your time and I mean, crap, like I don't know if anybody's going to make it this far into the video. So, and if they do, the pearls. What I got from this is number one is get out of your comfort zone. Like when you started trading, it was getting out of your comfort zone. When you started investing in multifamily properties, it was getting out of your comfort zone. When it's small businesses, it was getting out of your comfort zone. And I mean, I know you, so I know that this is all paying off for you.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Get out of your comfort zone. Take action, go do something different. I mean, go run that half marathon. Maybe you find your next business partner there. Go networking events. You never know who you're going to meet there. All right, guys, I'm going to put Quinton's contact information down below. You can get in touch with them and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. See you in the next one.